the first question I get asked by guys that I try and recruit is, well, how much money can I make? And that is, to go back to your original question, that is the wrong question to ask.
100%. It's not about the money.
Because you can make as much money as you want. You really can. But that's not why we put on the suit. The suit, to me, is, it's not a job, it's a calling. It's what we do. And it's like I went through the whole air traffic thing without telling you. I changed when I became Santa because I realized I could not be my air traffic control self. I could not be that, frankly, sorry, I could not be that ass and be Santa. And so, what makes a good Santa is someone who truly, truly believes in the spirit of Christmas and truly believes in the reason why we have Christmas. It's not about the getting, it's about the giving. It's about the sharing. It's about bringing, in some cases, and for those of you that are watching and thinking about doing it, prepare yourselves for a ride because you'll be going into places and visiting with people, with kids who literally, you are the very last hope they have for any kind of happiness. And you better be prepared to bring it. So that's what makes a good Santa.
Hmm. Is there a memory that stands out in your mind? I'm sure you've worked with, what, thousands of kids?
Yeah.
Is there a memory that's special that you could share with us for the people who are thinking about becoming a Santa?
Oh, I got tons of memories, but here's two of my favorites. First one's really funny. I mean, to me, it was really funny, mostly because I had older brothers that dinged on me growing up. I'm working an event, and there's a big line out the door of this pavilion, and I'm watching the line, and the other thing is I try and I don't work places where they charge for pictures. I want parents to take as many pictures as they want, and then I want the parents to come up and take pictures with the whole family. So I'm watching this, and I'm trying to keep the line moving, but I'm also trying to make sure each kid has their time, has their moment. And excuse me. And I can see these two brothers in the line back there. And there's an older one and a younger one. The older one's probably 8 or 9, younger one's 6, 7, somewhere around there. And the older one is just nonstop dinging on his little brother. I mean, you see, just bugging him the whole time. And I'm kind of watching him out of the corner of my eye. And they finally come up, and I get the older one up first. And we chat, and he tells me how good he's been. And we finally get to the part. I said, what would you like for Christmas? He says, oh, I want a Nerf gun. I'm like, dude, I'm down with that. I love Nerf guns. I said, Santa and the elves, and we do. In our house, we have a lot of Nerf guns. And I'm ashamed to say that my daughters kick my butt all the time. But I said, I'm down with that. That's great. And so he hops off, and he's standing right here. Little brother comes up. He's more subdued. We chat, and I finally get him talking a little more freely. And we get to the question. I says, well, what would you like for Christmas? And he sits there and he thinks. He points at his brother and he says, well, what did he ask for? I said, well, he asked for a Nerf gun. The kid goes, huh. And then the light bulb goes off. And he spins around on my lap, looks me in the eye, and he says, can I have a bigger one?
I love it.
So, but that's those are the fun ones. But there are other events. I'm gonna take my phone out. I'm gonna look it up here because I want to read it to you. So I'm at another event again, long line, lots of kids, lots of families. This family comes up. Nothing particular memorable or remarkable. I just remember they all came up. We took pictures. They're struggling. I mean, you can tell by the way they're dressed. you just could tell things were difficult. They leave. In the back of the pavilion, there's hot chocolate and cookies, so that's where everybody goes. And the line keeps moving, and I see this girl from that family. She comes up, and she kind of orbits over here, enough that she's out of the pictures, but she's just watching me, and watching me, and watching me. And all of a sudden, in between families, in between kids, she runs up and she hands me a piece of paper that's folded up to a square about the size of a quarter. And then she runs off. It's not uncommon. I get lists all the time from kids, letters. So I take it and I tuck it into the cuff of my coat. The cuff of my coat where I keep those and don't think anything else about it. I go home that night. I take my coat off and this folded up piece of paper falls out. And I go, oh yeah. So I pick it up and unfold it. This is the letter. Dear Santa, most kids would ask for toys and dollies. But for Christmas, I would like ... my parents to not fight for a week, not saying mean things to each other, and not yelling either. If you can't get me that, I guess I would like nothing this year. But I will still believe. I love you. You are the best in the world. I hope you fly safe. Love, Abby, age 11. You want to know why I do Santa? That's why I do Santa. For the Abbies. She had maybe a 5-minute window of joy and happiness. And if I could have one wish, if there were really genies out there and I could really wish something, I would wish to be Santa with all the power and magic abilities that we read about. You asked for it. Sorry.
Oh, it's beautiful. Eric, I don't have anything to add to that. You are the closest thing that we have to a Santa Claus in real life, and
Thanks.
I know you think highly of your brothers and sisters, and you look at their intelligence and their accomplishments, and you have every bit of it and more. And as far as I'm concerned, you've found yourself. You know who you are, but more than that, you understand the higher meaning of life. You understand that it's not about the money. It's not about the accomplishments or the accolades. It's about how we treat each other. That's really the only thing you take with you.
Yeah. The only thing we get out of this life with is what we've learned and the relationships we built. That's
True
it.
possessions, yes.
Nothing else goes.